Fast and Furious. I'm gonna get straight into it. Bro, how does The Rock pull a whole helicopter with a chain? How? I don't care how many steroids The Rock takes. He is not pulling a helicopter out of the freaking sky with a chain. He is not. And if you thought that that was bad, well, it gets even worse, because in Fast and Furious 7, Vin Diesel was fighting with the antagonist. I forgot his name, but he's acted by Jason Statham. And while they were fighting, Vin Diesel had this very cheesy line, which I'm gonna play it right here.
Thing about street fights, the street always wins.
And after that, Vin Diesel literally just stomps on the ground and shatters the earth under him. If that is not movie logic to the T, I don't know what is. Oh, and since we're talking about Vin Diesel, I got another scene that freaking, I don't know if Vin Diesel is like a god or something. Like the stuff that this man withstands in Fast and Furious, it's actually crazy. There's this one scene where he jumps from one car all the way across a bridge, catches a woman mid-air, and falls onto another car. Like, it's actually wild, bro. It's crazy the things that happen in Fast and Furious, because when you try to logically think about them, it makes no sense at all. It truly doesn't. Bro, I remember though, there's this one Fast and Furious clip where somebody literally drove from one building into another building in like freaking Dubai or something. And I always thought it was the coolest thing ever. But when you truly think about it, that would probably never work. I don't care how fast the whip is, bro. Like, you are not driving from one building all the way to another building through mid-air and landing perfectly in there. Like, bro, there's absolutely no way. Fast and Furious literally is the definition of movie logic. Nothing in Fast and Furious even makes sense anymore. I'm pretty sure in the last Fast and Furious, they went to the freaking moon. What sense does that make? And since we're talking about the definition of movie logic, bro, John Wick. This man literally killed entire civilizations over a dog. And that's not even the craziest part. There's actually this scene from one of the John Wick movies where he's shooting at another guy in like a really crowded area. Everyone's walking and stuff, and they have silencers on their weapon. And if y'all don't know what a silencer is on a weapon, it doesn't completely silence the gun. This is a silencer shooting. Like, it's pretty loud. Like, if somebody was shooting a silencer around you, you'd be like, oh shoot, like somebody's shooting. And in the movie, they kept on shooting at each other and nobody even batted an eye at these two dudes shooting at each other with silencers. Like, it's just crazy movie logic, bro. Horror movie logic. You ever notice how in horror movies, anytime somebody screams or something like that, they always run towards the problem? And then after they run towards those problems, they get surprised when their friends literally get killed by the killer. It makes no sense at all. Dudes could be living good job, good house, good family, good car, good every single thing in their life. But that one scream in the woods at 3 a.m. makes their whole life go downhill. If people in horror movies literally just minded their own business, they'd be chilling. Like, honestly, when you think about it, hear me out, right? If I heard a scream in the woods at 3 a.m., I would literally go the opposite way. I'm gonna find the fastest route home. But that would never happen to me, because why the hell would I be in the woods at 3 a.m.? In the dark and scary woods at 3 a.m. I don't even be going out past 10 p.m. What makes you think I'm gonna be posted up in the woods at 3 a.m.? I am literally black. I don't know if y'all could tell. Maybe you might have thought I was white if you're like one of my blind viewers. But let's be real. Black guy in the woods at 3 a.m. Bro, I'm gonna think that I'm gonna see like a freaking Klans meeting or something. Like, dog, I'm not going out in the woods at 3 a.m. Another movie logic thing about horror movies is that somehow every time the killer is like right behind, let's say like the protagonist or something, they always trip and fall. How do you somehow fall every single time when the killer with the freaking huge machete is right behind you? I'm not gonna lie, bro, hear me out, right? If I was running from Michael Myers, the last thing I'm gonna do is trip. I'm gonna be hyper aware of my surroundings, bro. If I'm running from a killer, bro, I am hitting the burners. Honestly, hear me out, right? If I'm running from a killer, I don't even think the killer would see me because of how fast I'm running. You would think I'm the freaking Black Flash, bro. You would think that somebody is holding R2 like we're playing FIFA or something, bro. Like, when I tell you, the last thing I would do is majestically fall into Jason Voorhees' lap when he's trying to run at me and kill me. Like, come on, bro. And another thing about horror movies, why does the killer always catch up to the protagonist when the killer is always walking? Like, I don't think I've ever seen a horror movie where the killer is literally like sprinting at people. It's always like they're walking and they somehow just catch up out of nowhere. You're telling me that you were a freaking track star in high school, but when Jason Voorhees comes into the picture, somehow this man that is walking catches up to you and kills you? How? That just doesn't remotely make sense. And if you thought that that was bad, you know what's even worse? When it is crunch time, prime time. It is game 7 in the finals, you feel me? The protagonist has a gun in their hand pointed at the killer. You know what I'm saying? The movie could end right there, but they somehow miss every single shot in the clip, and now they're freaking running away, and now they trip again, and then they get killed. How does that make sense? The logic in horror movies is honestly atrocious when you truly think about it. But since we're talking about things that don't make sense, old actors playing young roles. Now hear me out. It's understandable that some older actors play younger roles better because they've been acting for longer, but I'm talking about those little cheesy high school movies that just appear on Netflix every like 3 or 4 years that everyone's craving over, and it'll be about like a 16-year-old or a 17-year-old, but the actors in the movie will literally be 30 to 40 years old in a high school movie. Bro, how are you 30 plus acting as a 14-year-old, bro? We can see through the facade. You have a full-grown beard on your face. I don't know one 14-year-old with a whole beard on their face, except for in those freaking like junior football leagues when the kids are like 12, but they're like 6'8" and they're off like the roids. But that's like the only other time I know of a freaking kid with a beard. Other than that, I've never seen a freaking 14-year-old with a beard. You guys know how in 21 Jump Street, like they went back to school and they just looked mad old? That's literally how every single Netflix actor looks when it comes to a freaking high school movie or something. They be talking about, oh, I'm about to go home and play some video games, man. Bro, you are 36. Like, bro, you have a whole mortgage to pay. You have a few mouths to feed at home. You got a whole wife at home, and you don't even got a PS5. How you 36 with no PS5? How? Bro, I remember when that new Spider-Man came out, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, 7 out of 10 movie. The voice actor, Shameik Moore, who voices Miles Morales in the movie, he was doing a whole press run for the movie, like basically just doing interviews and stuff like that on YouTube and different like news sources and stuff. And one thing that he said was that he would want to play Miles Morales in a live action Spider-Man movie.
All this conversation about who should play the live action Miles Morales. You know who.
You are 28. How are you going to be Spider-Man? Now hear me out. Tom Holland, he looks very young. I'm 20 and I look like I've lived longer than freaking Tom Holland. While I was doing research for this video, I realized that Tom Holland is 27. That's pretty crazy. But Tom Holland looks 15. So it makes sense for him to play Spider-Man. He just looks very young. But bro, Shameik Moore, this man looks like a grown man. He looks 28. He's pushing 30 and he wants to play Spider-Man. Come on, my boy. Like I said, it makes sense sometimes for an older actor to play a young role. But bro, if you literally look like you're 30, 40 plus and you playing like a high school character, I'm not gonna lie, go feed your family. You have 10 kids waiting at home, waiting for you to come home from work. Bro, go feed your family. Go play with your children. Like, what are you doing? Bullying never makes sense in movies. Like, I feel like when it comes to movie bullying, like the bullying is always like on some Disney stuff, you know? By that, I mean, they be using words like pipsqueak or loser or like nincompoop. And I just be thinking in my head, like, bro, if somebody called me a nincompoop, I'ma laugh. I'm gonna be real. I don't care who you are. I'm gonna laugh if you call me that. I'm gonna laugh if you call me a freaking pipsqueak. How the heck is pipsqueak a freaking insult? Like, I feel like if you get offended by the word pipsqueak or loser, bro, you're honestly just an NPC. Like, let's be honest. I remember there's this one movie on Netflix. It came out about 3 years ago. It was called Tall Girl. If y'all don't remember this movie, well, it's basically about a really tall girl in high school. And she got bullied over her shoe size because she wore size 12 Nikes as a woman. And before that movie even came out, when I saw the trailer, I just thought to myself, how do you get bullied for your shoe size? That's like bullying somebody because of their phone number. Like, it's pretty random. Like, you wouldn't bully me because I have 3 3s in my phone number. So why would somebody bully you for your shoe size? Like, I feel like that's just movie logic right there. But the craziest movie logic of all time comes from the movie Shrek. Now, I know that this is a movie about a freaking ogre and stuff, and it's not supposed to be real. But tell me this, how did Donkey have 6 babies with a literal dragon, a fire-breathing dragon? You're telling me that a donkey was a dragon? How was Donkey literally handling all that? Do you see how big that dragon is? If that is not the definition of movie logic, then I personally don't know what is. But yeah, with all that being said, this is gonna wrap up the video. If you guys made it this far, I appreciate you. If you guys enjoyed this video, then I highly recommend you guys check out my most recent video where I talk about how streamers ruined gaming. But yeah, with all that being said, thank you guys for watching. It's Cameron, and I'm out.